What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV. Back with another live stream match preview. Years gone by, man. This was the title challenging deciding game, but we've fallen down the ladder slightly.
Mm.
Arsenal against Man U. Only one man to get on the preview. Saeed in the building. What are you telling me, bro?
Come on, man. It's good to be here, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a big one, man. I feel like this is the biggest game in a long while, Like, I can't remember a bigger one than this one. So, and I think for me, it's almost like a 6-pointer, isn't it? In a weird sense,
Yeah.
because we get 3 points behind you, and then you kind of like go kind of clear, if you know what I mean. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a big one, man. It's a big one. How far have Arsenal come? And obviously, is it maybe same old problems for United? So it's a big one, man. Big up to the chat. And yeah, man, looking forward to this, bro.
I just wanted to say as well done on the show with you and Babs, man. I just saw that just before I
Ah,
came on. It was good. It's entertaining, man. I enjoyed it.
entertaining, man. That's what it is, FIFA, man. You know what it was, yeah? Because you don't know who you're facing, innit?
Yeah.
And you know what, man? I got to give it to Babs. He's clued on. Like the
Mm.
guy was just nipping at me, and I wasn't ready for that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
different scenarios, I'm ready in it, but this one was very, very nippy. He just got
Yeah.
at me in certain situations. So fair play, Babs, man. He held it down. But it was one of them where you had to be shameless. You can't go
Yeah,
in.
you have to be.
You can't just go in there and be like, yeah. I think you know what I mean. Saliba's better than this player or this. I was like, nah, man, I'm not having this. I'm not having that. I'm disagreeing with this. I'm disagreeing with that. So,
Yeah, man.
yeah, man, big up, though. It was a good one, man, but nice one, man. I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, no worries, man. Good to see you doing big things out there. Looking at the game tomorrow, you go into the game, right? So how do you see it? Because the interesting thing for me, I'm you know me, I keep it 100.
Mm.
We've won 5 out of 5. You looked a bit of a shambles after the first couple games. You have turned things around in the last 3 games.
Mm.
Who would you say the favourites going into this game? I want to
Mm.
hear your point of view first.
You know what it is? I don't think there is a favorite. I'll be really, really
Mm.
honest with you. I think it's 50-50 as you can get. Listen, I have to respect Arsenal in terms of they've got a 5, you know what I mean, wins on the bounce. You know what I mean? You have to respect that. And that's why, and the thing with Man United is it's that we've got a bit of resilience now. It's a bit of like determination of, you know what, we're not just kind of easy to beat. You see in our first 2 games, we looked
Yeah.
spineless. Ten Hag brought them in training on that following Sunday after the Brentford game and said, you know what, that's it, I've had enough now. He's took
Mm.
out Maguire, he's took out Shaw, he's also took out Fred in that midfield, which a lot of people are not talking about. And them 3 positions there, and you look at the people who've come in, it's transformed, especially not playing Maguire and bringing in the back 4 that we've wanted. So in
Yeah.
terms of this one, I can't lie to you, man. Both teams are in form. Okay, we've had 3 on the bounce, and you've had 5. I just feel like it's a different Man United, and it's also a different Arsenal. So it's almost as if the teams will both respect each other. But then again, it could be a big, big battle, man. I can see flying tackles. I can see the good old days of Arsenal, man. You know what I mean? As long as you guys don't pay the ref, then it's all good, in it. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I'm actually optimistic. Every fan shouldn't be nervous. You should be going
Yeah.
this thinking, you know what, optimistic. Like whoever wins this game, like it's gonna be a massive, massive. People call it a social media derby.
Yeah.
Probably the 2 biggest fan bases in England. Let's be real. I know you got Liverpool, but I still think Arsenal. Everywhere you go, you still know about Arsenal. But in terms of the
Mm.
rivalry, I think this one here, it's like we leave it on the pitch. We don't kind of like be like, you know how you get the friendly rivalry. You've seen Big Steve and Griezmann. It's too friendly, man. With this
Yeah.
Arsenal
Yeah.
one, it's like, you know what? We don't like each other on the pitch, and it's firm rivalries going into it, bro.
Yeah, 100%. What have you made of Arsenal so far? Because, 5 wins out of 5, looking a lot better. We still kind of are trying to figure out where we're at. I think tomorrow will be the first big test. Palace away was a test, but this is the first big one. What have you made of Arsenal as a supporter of a different team?
I can't lie, man. I thought it was going to be the same old in terms of, you know, last season, the way it ended, man. I thought that was probably the best moment. I think I tweeted as well. The best moment Arsenal were going to get top 4. And, you could dress it up all you want, but you did bottle it because you
Mm,
had a lead over Tottenham. And then they
yeah,
kind of reversed it back. So I thought you bottled it. And I thought to myself, you know what? How are Arsenal going to go in the transfer window? Getting Jesus was probably an absolute steal for 45 million. When you look at the actual market now for strikers, getting Zinchenko in with the mentality he brings in, you know what I mean? Obviously, you haven't seen the other player, but I just thought them two coming in. But you know what it is? They go straight into your team. When you know a player goes straight into your team and it's like no messing around, that's when you know. And then obviously the introduction of Saliba as well. When you know they're going straight into your team and it's like you don't have to wait around and whatnot and let them bed in and etc. etc. I think that's given Arsenal a massive boost. Jesus has started the season well. Like I said, you've just got that solidity, and that's why you've hardly changed your team around. Obviously, you've got injuries now, but Arteta's found a winning formula. He's kept at it. You know what I mean? And Arsenal have just found that consistency that I think, you know, they've been thriving for years. They've not been. When's the last time you've done this? Like, is it a history thing where you've won the first
18 years or something? Yeah.
There you go then. So for me, it's a different Arsenal. You have to come in there. That's why in the game, I'm not kind of going in there thinking, you know what, I have to respect them and whatnot. Like, nah, man. We go into that game, we go in a bit of level of respect, and then we kind of, you know, we take it seriously because it's not Arsenal where they used to come to the Emirates and maybe kind of fold and whatnot, or, you know, you kind of find out little certain, you know, young players that might fold under pressure. I think this one here, you've got to give Arsenal respect. And Arteta, you have to give credit. Like, he's found a winning formula. He's brought Saliba back after 2 years. And you've kind of got the little bit of rhythm. Odegaard's flourishing. Martinelli's flourishing. Jesus is up front doing a business. So altogether, you're kind of like, you're in sync now. Arsenal now, even with the fan base, they're all together in a sense. And that's what you needed after the season you had last season as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. Do you know, I just wanted to ask you, because I'm always intrigued with this. From the outside, right? Man United have spent a fortune again this summer. Casemiro, Anthony. You probably already know what question I'm coming with it. I'm hearing every game, Glazers out, Glazers out. And I'm like, obviously, I'm in a different point of view. But I'm looking at it going, since Ferguson's gone, they've spent a fortune. They went for, you know, Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, Solskjaer. They've taken every direction that you could really go. They've got your Ten Hag, top manager. They've backed him, huge money. You spent massive money last year. Why is there such a disharmony with your ownership? Is it purely because they're putting you in debt, or what is the reason you're so against it?
So basically, there's two things, There's the argument that people say when they've spent money and, you know what I mean, you should be winning trophies and whatnot. That's one thing as well. We spent that money and it hasn't got us anywhere. It's almost spending for the sake of it and not having a plan and not having a structure behind it. That's one thing. And this money that they claim that they're putting in and fans think, oh, we're spending money. It's not actually their money. It's a revenue that we make. And it's nothing out of their pockets. When you look at Man City, that's out of their pocket. You look at the training ground, you look at the infrastructure, you look at what they're trying to do. If you look at their part of Manchester and our part of Manchester, it's two poles apart. For us, they're not interested about winning in the sense of building to win. I'd rather have a structure rather than just throwing money at it. And that's what we haven't had for a long time. And that's why you've seen Ed Woodward kind of leave. You've seen certain parts of the structure leave. I just think for us, we're just tired of the ownership because they don't have a plan to kind of level up now. It's like they're almost spending money at it. And it's none of their money. And also, it's the fact that we've not been able to have a plan for so long. You know, you're looking at the managers that have come in through. The philosophy isn't there. And I think for me, and you know what, it's a good point that you make, and it's a good question you make, because a lot of people try and say, oh, well, they spent money at it. But that's no problem, though. You can't just spend money at it without having a plan. And we don't want that. We want to know that there's a plan in 5 years' time. So, yeah, man, I think for me, no matter what, they can spend the money all they want, mate. It still glazes out for me, 100%. Man.
Is it? So from your, is there no way they can convince you? Is there nothing?
No, 100% not.
It's gone too far.
No, it's gone too far, bro. It's gone too far for me. Like I said, man, they've it's got to the point now where they've only spent now because of the Glazer pressure. You know what I mean? And when you look at it, I think it was the Brentford game. All of a sudden, money comes out of nowhere and they're spending another 250 million. I'm like, where's that come from? Is that because we've lost 2 games on a bounce, or are you actually spending it because you actually know what you're doing? So for us, it's like, nah, man, it's not on that. Absolutely not on.
No, I get you. I wanted to ask you because, you know, a lot of people say, well, they spend a fortune, but, you know, I've been to Man City's training ground. I've been to United's, and, you know, it's chalk and cheese. Their whole infrastructure and everything is crazy. But what have you made of your transfer window? Because it's like, I feel like your transfer window was in 2 halves. The first I thought was a little bit underwhelming, but maybe they were going to be good signings, but they didn't excite you that much. And then you've brought in two bigger names at the end. But I have to admit, I like the boy. Is it Malacia at left back? I like
Latvia,
him.
man. Dog, man. It's a
I
dog.
like him. Looks like an upgrade on Shaw, and obviously Casemiro and
Massive
Anthony.
upgrade.
What have you
Massive
made?
upgrade.
What have you made on the window overall?
For me, I can't lie to you, man. I think it's been a apart from the striker, it's positions that we kind of needed, if you know what I mean. So we needed the left back because Shaw's been absolutely terrible for the last how many years. We've needed certain other man in that's been terrible for the last couple of years. So these Lisandro Martinez have been an absolute mega. We've needed these players. We've absolutely needed these players. So end of the day, we've got players in that they're gonna, again, like I said to you, bring that mentality, bring that edge to us that we always wanted. You see what I mean, bro? So it's like, I feel with the Casemiro thing, we needed a 6. That was absolutely.
No, he's gone. The internet's gone. Running on that McDonald's Wi-Fi again. I'm sure he'll be back on. Yeah, that's his smoke alarm, by the way, not mine. I can hear that beep in the background. I'm sure he'll be back in a minute as well. Everyone's putting the scores in. Let me just have a quick look. Forest beating Bournemouth 2-1. Do you know what? While he's off, I got a couple of Arsenal stories I'm going to bring up anyway. In fact, he's back. He's back. Yo, you got to turn that. You got to turn that McDonald's Wi-Fi off.
I don't even know what happened there, but just literally just went off. Then my bad.
It's all right. Go on, carry on.
Yeah,
bro.
man. I think for me, we needed a left back. We needed a centre back. You know what I mean? People talking about my man's height, Martinez. Absolute no way. People are joking on that one. You see his aggressive nature, bro. People can talk about height, but the actual idea of defending, I'd rather a defender who's aggressive, bro. Who's someone at least is, because you can have them tall defenders if they're so passive. I.e. Maguire, he's so passive in the air. Or you could get Martinez, who's very, very aggressive. I'd rather have that, me. So I'm, like I said, with Casemiro coming in, Martinez coming in, Eriksen, who's gone under the radar. A lot of people are not talking about Eriksen, the fact that he's coming in and will give us so much kind of, technical ability in that midfield. Someone that could give and go. Someone that can maybe play in an 8, maybe play as a 6 that you're seeing now in a double pivot. For me, he's adaptable in multiple systems. So I'm kind of happy, but I think for me, what I'm not happy about is the fact that we haven't bought a striker in. And you know what it is with a striker here? You know how so key they are? It's just that missing glue. And you've needed that for a while now. You've got, you sold Aubameyang, you kind of let him go. And then you're going to fix the problem with getting Jesus. And that was a massive, massive thing that you did. And it's, people don't understand how much, a striker does for your system. It's just that glue up front that then players can run off. And that's what we're missing right now. So hopefully Martial comes in. But all in all, man, again, like I said, it's happened, but I'm happy with the window overall in terms of what we've done. Anthony as well coming in, that flavor on the right hand side that we've needed for a while. And yeah, man, like I said, it's been an okay window for us, man. 100%, bro.
Man is saying they can hear your fire alarm beeping in the background. Needs batteries in it. You gotta get them AA batteries in, man. You know what I mean? Them good ones, man. But no, listen, we're gonna do a combined 11 as well. Let me get this ready because I remember last time we had a good debate on this. So let me get the share screen up. I wanted to do two things: a combined 11 and give me an idea of how you think you're gonna line up tomorrow. Because I haven't seen your team notes.
Okay.
So I think we both play pretty similar, don't we? Like 4-2-3-1.
Yeah. I think we play a 4-2-3-1 as well. We're trying to get to a 4-3-3, but most of the time it's a 4-2-3-1.
So in terms of United, how do you think you'll be setting up tomorrow?
I think for me, De Gea in goal. That's a quick one. We're gonna have Dalot at right back.
He's looked quite good, to be honest. I wasn't sure about him.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm still 50-50 about Dalot, but I can't lie. It's one of them where I think for me, he's better than Wan-Bissaka, and he just needs to run a game. This will be his first full season. Can you believe he's been there for a while? So maybe that game time is what he kind of needs. To be honest,
Martinelli will test him tomorrow, though. Definitely.
Well, you know what? One thing that you're gonna get some joy out of Dalot is the fact that 1v1 is probably his weak point. Like if you go at him. Like most of the times when wingers have gone at him, he doesn't fare well. So I think that's going to be a very, very key area there. Dalot versus Martinelli, who gets the better of him. But then again, he is on form now. Last couple of games, he's looked probably the most improved player in the United team. So
a left back Malacia.
Yeah, left back Malacia, man. You get me?
He looks proper.
You know what it is with him? He's kind of like endeavor, and it's like we had Patrice Evra who was similar up and down that kind of like byline. And I think for
Mm,
me, I just love the fact that he's so tenacious, man, and he's not
yeah,
a passive left back, man. We've got Luke Shaw who's very, very passive now, but this guy here, he's just the opposite, and it's just so refreshing. It's almost become like a fan's favorite. I think Kieran Tierney was like one of the fans' favorite, wasn't he? When he
yeah, yeah.
came in, and he's a similar one, man. He's just it's so good when you see someone who gave so little and a guy
Mm.
who's giving a lot, man. It's just so refreshing to see, bro.
So then tomorrow I'm thinking like, because has Casemiro not started a game yet?
Casemiro, no, he's not starting the game. So I
Is
think
this
this
his
will be the
debut?
game where he starts. I'll be real with you. I think this will be the game where he kind of starts now, and this will be the
Surely.
one. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think it'll be Casemiro, and I think Ericsson. I know McTominay's played well a few games, but this is where he knows now. Right, let's put him in there now, and let's dominate that midfield, because that Arsenal midfield is somewhere where it's a weakness for you guys.
Yeah,
So if
yeah,
we can
tomorrow.
dominate that midfield, Ericsson and Casemiro, I think we've
Bruno,
got over you in that one.
Bruno in the 10.
Yeah, Bruno in the 10. Yeah.
No, the front three again, before we get into it, because it's funny for me. I'm hearing you saying, "Oh,
Mm,
United, didn't get a striker." I'm like,
mm,
you've still got Ronaldo. I know at the moment he's not
mm.
playing, but
Nah,
still,
not playing, man. Not
you
playing,
got
bro.
Rashford. You've got maybe Martial. You do have good options there still.
Yeah, we do have good up, but again, thing is, Martial, I don't think he's fit. That could
No,
be one to watch out for tomorrow. That if he does play, it'll be a surprise one where the manager hasn't really spoke about it, and all of a
yeah,
sudden he didn't want to give one over to the manager, to Arteta. I think that's one to watch out for. But I think for me, it'll be Rashford up front. If I'm being honest with you.
yeah, yeah. And do you know what? I got to be honest. I think he will give us more problems because I think that striker that can press high with the pace hitting us on the break probably
Yeah,
be
hundred
trickier for
percent.
us.
And you
Not
know
that
what it is?
obviously Ronaldo's a better finisher, but he
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
press.
yeah. It's what you know what they do though. The left winger and the right winger. What Rashford does is he kind of overloads on one side. So that's
Mm.
part of Ten Hag's system. Now, what he'll do is I don't know who plays on your right hand side. Who will be playing? Ben White, is it? Or
Saliba and Ben White. Oh, Ben White right back here,
yeah. So
probably.
what they'll do is they'll try to double up on that side. So that's a
Mm.
that's a that's a one thing that they'll do. So I that's why what Rashford gives you is just a running in behind, not more the intelligent and finishing. It's a
Yeah,
running in behind and just kind of making sure that you guys work at the back. So yeah, it'll
yeah.
be Rashford up front.
The other two, then, I mean, Anthony, 90 million euros
Yeah.
or whatever. Does he start or is it too soon? Does he ease
Nah, I
him
think
in?
he'll start, man. I can't
You
lie to
think
you, man.
so?
Ilanga's not been looking well, man. I think Ilanga will have to hold bench. This is not a player that is not had a pre-season or not started the season for Ajax. He's played the season, so it's not as it's a case of just going straight in there for me. So I would put Anthony on the right hand side, and then Sancho on the left, man. And then
I
all of
mean,
a
come
sudden,
on. On paper,
yeah, that's what I mean, man.
that front three should be doing damage to most teams. His
Yeah,
pace, his skill,
100%,
but
hundred
it,
percent, bro. So,
so
like I
what?
said,
So
man, imagine we had this. If Martial is up front there, then you've got a nice team there forming. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, it's just that maybe the backups aren't great, but I think we'll work on that one in terms of squad depth. We don't really have the squad depth. I think same with you guys. You don't really have the squad depth. Obviously, we've got
mm,
Ronaldo on the bench, but apart from that, we've got Donny's not really played. We've got Fred. Then you've got Garnacho. It's not really a strong bench, if I'm
no.
being honest with you.
Mm. Yeah, no, it's interesting. I mean, listen, one thing with United, you've got lively attackers, aren't you? That's for sure.
Where are you looking at in terms of your kind of like are you a little bit worried about?
For me, is the midfield, and it's more because of how weak our midfield is going to be. Because
Yeah,
if Thomas Partey's playing, I'm thinking this is a tough game for your midfield. With him not being there, and we're going to have probably Lokonga and Xhaka, they're not
yeah.
the most mobile.
Mm,
I think if you press those two,
mm,
could be difficult. And if
mm.
I don't want Casemiro to start.
Casemiro, man, is another one, man. He'll just bully. I think he knows it. And it's not a case of like, building experience for him. It's one of them again. We've lacked midfielders, man. Last 3
Yeah.
years, we've had McTominay and Fred, man.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying, bro?
I just got to interrupt you. Chelsea losing 1-0. Mikel Antonio.
What? I told
Yeah,
you about this too, Sean. He's
yeah,
getting
yeah,
sacked.
yeah. Come on, West Ham. Oh, look,
Right.
Ivan Tony hat trick as well. 3-1.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, a
Good
lot of
player.
people were telling me, Ivan Tony could have been the one, etc., etc. But it's one of them, man. Is it just because it's Brentford? You know what I don't like about like when the idea and arguments come in, like, oh, would he replicate that at your club? Maybe it just works for Brentford and how they play and their
Yeah,
style of football. They play to him.
yeah,
So big
yeah.
up Ivan Tony, though.
I'd say, and someone just said it there. The other place I'd look at as a worry against you is that left-hand side. I think Sancho's it in a little bit of form. Malacia on the overlap pace. We got Ben White at right back, who's not a natural right back, and Saka, who's not in the best of form at the moment.
Mm.
So I
Saka's the
think
one, yeah.
that's another area. But at the same time, we got to flip it on its head and go.
Yeah.
I think Martinelli against Dallo can be a
Yep.
problem. Jesus movement up front, Odegaard getting in the pockets.
Mm.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be.
Odegaard, is he fit though? Is he fit, Odegaard?
Well, they reckon he's having a fitness test, but apparently he travelled, and so we'll have to. I always think if a player travels, man, you just got to, you know what I mean, pain-killing injection. You got to play, man.
Yeah.
You got to
Fair
play.
enough.
You know
Fair
what I
enough.
mean? But let's do a combined 11 anyway, because I've
All
seen a
right,
few
cool.
online, and I remember last time we did one. So
when was the
the
last
only
time we did one? Was it last season?
it was last season, yeah. I mean, last season was
Down in the gutter, man.
I hated last season. A lot of Arsenal fans didn't mind it because there was a bit of a recovery, but I didn't enjoy it. When you bottle it to your biggest rivals, for me, that season's a write-off.
100%, bro. That game was a weird one at Old Trafford last season, man, because I thought Arsenal were probably the better team, but we just edged it in terms of chances, man. And you were just playing
Ronaldo.
pretty football, and then we just got you, and then it was it. And then Ronaldo got the winner. Odegaard, I don't know what he was doing, man, sticking his leg out.
Oh, he's
But
done
that
that a
first
couple
goal
times.
was a random one. Again, that Smith Rowe one, the game was flipping down. It was when you're in the stadium, it's so different to when you see it on TV. You know what I mean?
That was a mad goal. That was mad. So we're gonna go off form rather than overall
form. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think form is more relevant, isn't it? That's where we're at right now in the modern.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's start.
The thing is,
I'm looking at you because
you rate Ramsdale.
I'm not his biggest fan. I rate him, but I'm not like I'm not singing off the rooftops about him. I think he's good. I don't think he's great. I think he's good.
The thing is with Ramsdale, I think
great
he's a
distribution.
Yeah, great distribution, decent enough shot stopper, but I just think overall qualities, David De Gea is better. And I think in the last, it just depends on what you look at. Arsenal have conceded less goals in a sense of, they've been hard to beat. Has it been at the forefront of that? Has Ramsdale been at the forefront of keeping big saves out? Has he done that?
I would say, I mean, it's a tough one, because I don't know if I've seen it. I think of many of the goals been his fault this season, De Gea. I can't really think of all the goals.
At the start of the season, I think it was the one at the start of the season, there was two his fault. You know what I mean? So, all right, you know what? I'm going to put Ramsdale in because I think overall he's been solid this season. So
I think if he was talking about who's the better goalkeeper overall, you would have been talking De Gea. But I think Ramsdale, he's hardly made a mistake. He's had a steadier start to the season.
Fair enough.
I think that's fair. Where do we go? Let's go right back.
See, this is an interesting one, because Ben White's played well at right back. But I think for me, when you look at Dallow's performances this season, it's been the last 3 games. But I think overall, Dallow's been more effective at what a right back's supposed to do. Has Ben White, apart from just defending, has he been kind of like, has he stood out for you, Ben White?
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because he's a centre back playing right back ultimately, so he doesn't really
get been tremendous, man. Individually, Dalot, if I look at him this season, he's been one of the better players in the team. So personally, I would go with Dalot. But like I said, and Dalot's had a couple of assists as well. he's contributed to United as well in that sense. So I would go with Dalot at right back.
I'll give you Dallo. I'll give you him. I mean, listen, with some of these, I haven't watched them all season. I saw him play very well against Liverpool. I'll give it. Yeah, he gets forward a little bit more, but Ben White has done well.
Ben White's done well, man.
Ben White's done well.
Yeah,
Left back. I mean, for me, I like Malacia, but I'm saying this is Zinchenko for me, just because of how good he is on the ball. But I do like Malacia, but he didn't start. He didn't start the season, did he? Weren't it?
No, he came in at the game against Liverpool, so he hasn't. He's only played 3 games this season. But I'm going to give you Zinchenko. I think Zinchenko overall. I think more experience. Like I said, he plays the role probably a little bit more better. But yeah, I'm going to give it Zinchenko. He's had a massive impact on your team as well, and the way you play as well with the inverted fullback. So let's go with Zinchenko with that one.
Go with Zinchenko then. All right. So the 2 centre backs.
For me, I don't know what you're going to do, but Lisandro Martinez has to be in there. Like when you look at his overall season, he stood up for me more than anyone. And even when we were playing bad against Brentford and Brighton, he was the one that was still in there, kind of being the better player. And a lot of people say, "Oh, well, he got out jumped and this and that." But I think to me, I'm going to put Lisandro Martinez in there. But you're saying the whole lineup has to be for me. Gabriel can't be. Gabriel can't be.
Do you know what? I thought you was going to be screaming Varane more than Lisandro.
No. I'll be honest with you, man. Martinez, man, he's won the Player of the Month for United as well.
Has he? Wow.
Yeah, he's won the Player of the Month for me. I would go with Martinez and Saliba. I think Saliba's had an immense start.
Saliba, I listen. I wasn't even going to talk about him. I'm just typing it. We're just typing his name in. No, listen, you watch your team closely. Gabriel, for me, has been steady, but has not been as good as Saliba.
That's what I mean. Varane hasn't been good as Saliba. Martinez. That's what it is about. That's literally all it is based on. Varane hasn't been better than Martinez. And
do you know what? I think I'm being very fair to you here, because what I'm doing, I'm almost letting you off with them first 2 games, because most people would say, "I'll put the Arsenal player because he's probably had 5 solid games." We know your season kind of changed when you changed.
If you actually look at it, Martinez in them 2 games, obviously you won't know more than me, but he's been the better performer out of them. And I know it's kind of crazy to think, we lost 4-0 because of Martinez. Martinez played well in that 4-0, and it sounds crazy.
No one played well in that 4-0, man.
It wasn't of him.
He got dragged, didn't he? Did they take him off?
Yeah, because the manager took him off for some reason. But it wasn't. He had an actual.
Tall enough.
Well, I don't know, man. The manager at that point must have realized that I didn't make a mistake, because the next game he dropped Maguire.
Oh yeah. Maguire needed dropping from a long time. I don't know what took so long to be honest.
Man, we've been praying, man. It's finally happening.
You know what? I'm being fair here. I'll give you Lisandro. He's been good the last 3. He's turned it around. But it'll be interesting tomorrow.
Tomorrow, man. But you got to realize, man, the South America, it could be heated out there, man.
That's beef. Him and Jesus is beef.
Yeah, man, 100%. And so again, like I said, man, watch out, man. Man, like Martinez is coming for you, man.
All right, let's go into midfield. This is going to be an interesting one as well.
We can't add in Casemiro because you know what I mean.
He hasn't played. And the worst thing for me, right, and it's almost hard for me to do this. Granit Xhaka has probably been our best midfielder because Thomas Partey hasn't played the last couple.
You have to give credit where it's due.
Can't give it where it's due. It's Granit Xhaka.
You know what, man? But he's playing more further forward this season, man. He's more playing as an 8 rather than
like the Gundogan role. Yeah, it's Gundogan role.
Yeah, I remember the Bournemouth game. I was like, "What's going on here?" Like,
Yeah, it'd be interesting if he does that tomorrow still against a better team. He looks a lot better. Looks a lot better
in there. But again, he's always one madness away from doing something, and that's his problem, man. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. He needs to go see a psychologist, man. I don't know why he's not done that, because it's almost as if he's waiting for that moment to happen. That moment of madness keeps happening. But fair play, man. Like I said, Xhaka for me goes there. The second one I'm going to put there for me, it's going to be Eriksen.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that in the comments. Has
Yeah.
he been your best midfielder so far?
Yeah, for me, a lot of people saying, well, he's not really done anything, etc. But I look at what he gives Man United in terms of technical ability, driving forward the ball. He's so effortless, man. That's a good thing about Ericsson. And his intelligence for me is second to none. We have a lot of players that give the ball away. With him, he's very, very calm on the ball. And even against Leicester, when you've seen him play, he was just so calm on the ball when we were under pressure. And like I said, he's just so comfortable at what he does.
Yeah.
It's effortless, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Ericsson for me.
Do you know what? When you signed Ericsson, I thought 30, like 30 free transfer. I thought, but then when I've seen him, I realized that you don't really have a player who plays the way he plays in that deep lying role.
Yeah.
He's looked quite good for you, to be honest. But
It's good, man. Free transfer, man. You can't go wrong,
mm,
man. It was a
yeah,
low risk, high reward kind of player, bro.
yeah. 10 role. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna give
think
it to you, man.
you got to go Odegaard, aren't you?
Yeah. Odegaard.
He's been
Like I said
balling.
to you, man. He's not world class like Bav says, you know what I mean? But for
What did
me,
Bab say? He's world class.
world class, man. He said world class,
Ah.
you know what I mean? And then he kind of went, oh no, world class chance creator. And then he
Ah,
kind of went back on his words, you know what I'm saying?
yo, big up Babs, you know.
Yeah, big up Bav,
Oh,
man. You
dear.
know what I'm saying? So
But
yeah, man.
he's been good. He's been good this season.
Yeah,
What's
he's been good,
Bruno
man.
playing like?
I like him, A lot of people don't really fancy Odegaard, but I like that kind of number 10. And you
Mm,
know where it is, yeah? Like Bruno Fernandes is literally the opposite of Odegaard. And that's why maybe I like Odegaard a little bit more. It's just because he takes care of the ball, he
yeah,
gives and go, he plays in them little pockets. And I just like that for me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, he's had a good start to the season. And he's gonna be a big miss if he's not playing tomorrow, It's gonna be a massive miss if he's not playing.
100%. I've had two question marks over Martin Odegaard. First one was he needs to score more goals. He's just started scoring more, so I give him that. My second one is how good is he when our back's against the wall? When we're playing big teams and we're struggling, can he step up and get us out of a mess?
Yeah.
So tomorrow, if he's up against like a Casemiro and that's where I want to see, show
You
that
know what? You're
quality and
right.
that intelligence. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting.
Mm.
Front three.
Front three.
Let's start with the wingers.
Yeah, let's start with the wingers. See, the thing is, I don't think we can put Saka in here, I don't think he's been on form this season.
I'm not. Chelsea have equalised, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm
Still
not.
though,
I'm not
1-1.
even. I'm going to be honest. I'm not even really arguing for Saka. He hasn't been great.
Yeah, like I said, it's a strange one. He did get the assist on the weekend, though, with
He did get the assist.
he did get the assist. I'm going to go Gabriel Martinelli
Oh yeah,
on the left,
Martinelli left wing or right wing, whichever.
left
I
wing.
would have been saying here probably Sancho or Martinelli.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Sancho and Martinelli. Martinelli, you know what I mean? It's a big season for him, man, because I feel like
Very big.
he needs to kick on now. You know what I mean? We can't really be saying, you know what I mean? He needs time to develop. He needs time. He's been there a few seasons now. Let's see now he can finally nail on that position and be consistent. You know what I mean? I don't know how many his highest goal scoring tally is, but he almost like fizzles off towards the end of the season. But I think for me, he's had a good start. He's been at the forefront of everything Arsenal have done. So yeah, man, I'm gonna give it to kind of Martinelli and then Sancho for me. Like I said, yeah.
I mean, yeah, Martinelli. I think this is a massive season for him. I think, but he looks like he's changed. He looks a little bit more focused. In terms of Sancho, because I got to be honest, right? Sancho, when he was at Dortmund, I was like,
yeah.
This guy can go wherever he needs to. He's got so much ability. He's had a slow season last year at United. What do you think for him this season? And with Anthony coming in, does he get on the left? Where
It
do you
probably
see?
helps him. It probably helps him, to be fair, that he's going to be on the left this season.
Yeah.
But for me, I just think a lot of it, like I said, man, in the German league, the fact that we're seeing a little bit of struggle, I think it's very, very natural because the German league, like I said, this is more competitive, it's more powerful. You have to adapt to this league. It's a whole new different culture. Last season was like I said, was a better this season. This season, there's no excuses, man. But I still believe in him, man. I still think he's got the qualities. I think he's had a decent start to the season. He's got a few goals now. You know what I mean? He's trying to link up play well now. And I feel like for me, he's going to be more integral now to the way we play. Now at Ten Hag, we have a system. You'll start to see Sancho shine a bit more. So for me, he's been probably the better player out of our forwards. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I'm going to put Sancho on the right for me. But yeah, and then
Yeah.
obviously,
And then obviously the striker, mate,
yeah, man,
Teddy Sheringham.
Teddy Sheringham, yeah. Nah, man,
Hey,
what a player,
Gabby,
man.
man. Do you know what? Honestly, right, I think when we signed him, a lot of people were kind of like, you signed a lot of people saying, you've signed a guy that couldn't even get in up front at City with no striker. There were a lot of people saying that.
Yeah, yeah,
I think now people are looking at this striker market and saying, do you know what?
yeah,
With a couple of years left on his contract, he would have cost 60, 70 million, I think, in this
yeah,
market.
yeah, yeah.
I think he's
You
a
know what? It
great
should.
signing.
You know what I mean? And that just shows you how bad the striker market is, man. You know what I mean? Because this guy's been playing for a while now, and like I said, because now there's a rarity in actual number nines now.
Yeah.
The market is hot. Look at Nunes. Look at certain man that are going for silly prices. And this is it. Even Aubameyang on a 1-year contract is worth, how much is he, like 13 million? So
Yeah.
it's mad, bro. For me, he's come in, he's took it, that number 9 spot. He's almost like embraced it. You know what I mean? And he's just firing in it, and he's just kind of making you lot play better. He holds up the play well. He links up well. He can play in between the lines. You know what I mean? He's someone that is he's gearing up to becoming an all-rounder now. You know what I mean? So you just need to kind of give him more consistency. And if you can stay fit, then you've got every chance. Because I think this league now, as much as you've got to be defensively organized and whatnot, you know what I mean? You need guys that can just score a goal out of nothing or create something out of nothing. Look at the Leicester. Was it Leicester goal? Where he just kind of like,
Yeah, turned and just
turn and just, fizz it around the keeper. So for me, yeah, man, I got to give it to him, man. Fair play to Arsenal.
do you know what I honestly think? And Big Steve and Co won't like this, but I
Yeah.
think Gabriel Jesus is feeling now like what it feels like to be at a really, really big club. Now we know Man City are a better team than Arsenal and whatever,
Yeah,
but
I know what you mean.
do you know what I mean? I think we've uplifted him. Like
Yeah, yeah.
he was just kind of existing at Manchester City. We've kind of said, put him on the pedestal and said, go and be a superstar. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. And also, it's the fact that you got the greats behind, like, you got like
Yeah,
Bergkamp and Henry, and it's like, right, go and make your identity. Before he
yeah,
was kind of almost the second to Aguero. You know
yeah,
what I mean? He didn't really feel like he was loved in it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So for me, becoming that main man in football now is everything, fam. And he's got to make the Brazil
100%.
squad as well. So fair
Yeah,
play to him, man. In his career, he had to make that step up. 25, the right age to buy a striker. You know what I mean? And for me, you know what I mean? For what? How much you buying? 45 million,
or
pro.
5
Snip,
bargain,
snip.
absolute bargain. I think we've been quite fair there with the team. Yeah, I think we've
Yeah, yeah. No, I
got
think it's
quite
a balanced team.
a balanced
Like I
team.
said, I think the next one in January when we play each other,
Yeah, we'll have a
will be
different.
hopefully a different team, man. So I'm telling you
You
now,
know
man,
what?
we're gonna go easy on you this one.
Yeah, yeah. I went easy on you, brother. I let them first 2 games slide for a lot of man. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? To
yeah,
get in.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Listen, over 1,000 of you in the chat. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to Saeed. Links in the title. Brilliant channel. I'm sure most of you follow him anyway.
Big up, man.
Talk to me about Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the biggest players to ever play the game. As Steve said, you were swinging in the car park last year. I remember the video. You
Yeah,
want
yeah,
me? Da. I seen all
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Flags
yeah.
out. Now the
Good
brother is
times.
on the bench. I genuinely thought he was going to leave. I thought there's no way he's going to stay at United and sit on the bench.
Yeah,
What
you know
what
what? Like,
what
you know what it
happens?
is for me? I just feel like it's one of those situations where, we got him, but we kind of didn't know what we were doing because in the long term, he was never going to play. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah,
kind of a one season magical kind of thing. And when Man United heard that, Man City were involved in some sort of deal or were about to approach him or something, they panicked. And it was a panic by, looking back. Doesn't take anything away from the player, and we enjoyed it and the goals he got us last season, not taking anything away, but it was never the plan because we were meant to go and get a CDM. So at the end of the day, like I said, we got the player, but without bringing a plan, and now he's almost stuck because his wages are high. If he's going to come to your club, he's going to be a main guy, and not many teams are want to do that. Teams now are built on systems. Teams now want to be fluid. They can't evolve around Ronaldo anymore, and the whole image and the facade. It's going to be difficult. So for
yeah,
me, it's a sad situation, but it's a reality in it. Like, Ten Hag is setting a statement that, you know what, you were that guy, but you're gonna have to be playing a bit part game. And it looks like he's almost taken to it. We'll find out. But for me, I'm about team, man. I'm not really bothered about, the whole thing that, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. He has to start. You know what I mean? There were certain players that were like, might get that feeling of, because there's somebody, they have to start. Nah, man. For me, you earn your right to play. And right now, Ten Hag's found a formula. And someone saying, similar to Ober's situation, it could be the fact that he set a precedent. The manager set a precedent, say, you know what, you're not the main guy anymore. You're going to have to be, a part of the team. And obviously, the clash of personality, whatever, it's just one of them situations, bro. So for me, it's a sad situation, but at the end of the day, we move on in it. Life goes on. And, it's not the Ronaldo of old, man. Simple.
Yeah. What do you think his attitude's going to be like? Do you think he embraces the fact he's nearly 38? He might be a bit part player, or do you think he's going to sulk while he's on the bench? What do you think his attitude will be?
I think for me, he's an ultimate professional in the sense of training. He won't like miss training or anything like that. He might cause some like disturbances in a training ground, maybe, or behind the scenes. But like I said, when he goes on that pitch, I think we've got a manager now who is very, very strict on certain things. I don't know if you've seen the kind of almost dossier, but they can't do this. There's so much things that they can't do.
Yeah.
They can't leak stuff to the press. They can't, they've got to report to training early. They've got to make sure certain things are kept in house, and anything that anything that goes wrong, there's punishment involved. For me, I don't think he's that sort of player that will kind of cause disruption. He's kind of seen it all. He's not got no ego with certain players. I just think for me, I think he knows what the situation is. I think he'll have January to kind of maybe find another club because he's got the World Cup. I think now he's almost thinking, you know what? I've got the World Cup around the corner. Let me give one a World Cup. Let me stay fit, be around the team, and then move in January, if you know what I mean. So it's not the end of the world for him. So simple, man.
Yeah. I just wanted to quickly touch on the managers. Obviously, my manager has been so much discussion about him before. And obviously your manager as well, new manager coming in. I know a lot of Man United fans were raving for him to come in over Pochettino. Where are you at with Arteta now? Because, I listened to your opinions on your channel and the Big Six and stuff like that. How do you see him now? Do you think he's becoming a top manager, or do you still think there's a long way to go?
I think, you know what it is, I've never had really a problem with Arteta. Like, I've not kind of like, obviously it's the banter and that between the Arsenal fan base, but in terms of him having a manager, I've never dismissed that he's actually got a philosophy and he's got a style of playing. I know what he's kind of working towards. You can see it in patches. It's just, for me, I've questioned his management skills. I've questioned his ability to kind of maybe motivate the team in certain sense. Because I've seen the documentary now and I'm like, how still have you got them results when he's done all that situation with the lit candle and everything like that? I'm like, what's going on? Like, is it kind of a show? Is he trying to be Pep Guardiola too much? I don't know, but I think he's still learning on the job. That's always a worry because it's almost as if now the kind of owners and the board are happy for him to kind of like,
develop.
That, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost, I'm very, very uneasy with a manager learning on the job. I just think it's one of them situations that a club like Arsenal can't have a manager learn. Arsenal are a very, very top club. Would I associate Arteta with the manager? No. But I think it's just where the club's going now in terms of, trying to find a young profile of a manager and then trying to build them up and trying to have a process, as they say, and have a long-term issue.
Not that word.
I think for me, though, this is where the excuses stop today. It's got to be this season when you get to the top four. Oh, I'm sorry, he has to get sacked, man. There is no kind of, even if the competition is high, this season they spent 400 million now. There's no kind of, you can't say after this season, well, you know what, we're going to throw another 150 million at it and then maybe you get top four next season. It's now or never for Arteta. And that's why, for me, he's under massive pressure this year. And when it gets to that crunch period, where I think it happens all the time, where I think he struggles, is that period where the Europa League kicks in, the injuries kick in. Does he say to himself, you know what, we need a player, or does he kind of stick to his philosophy? Because now you haven't bought a midfielder in, and it's like, does he then think, you know what, I can trust Samuel Ekong and I can trust certain players? So for me, it's now or never. The excuses stop. You've had 2 or 3 seasons now embedding, and because he's in a bit of his career where he's, in terms of team progression, that Chelsea and United aren't. So he's had this team for about 2 or 3 years now. I know a couple of people come in, but his progression now, again, now there's no more excuses now. You've got to deliver. Simple. You've got to deliver. So Wow, Mitrovic
100%.
scored again, man. That
2-1.
boy.
Yeah, 2-1. And
Wow,
Antonio
man.
just hit the post as well for West Ham.
Bam, bam, bam,
So,
bam.
GD said,
Big up,
Curtis is
TD.
big up GD. Is top 4 and no trophies enough this season? Listen, Chelsea have just scored, by the way. It's 2-1.
Square down.
Yeah. That's
Flipping
thrown me off.
That's last minute, that.
Yeah. 80, what is it? 88th minute.
Oh, that is a dagger.
Havertz,
wow. Now Matisse is going to come at me on a big 6.
you call him Shy Havertz, isn't he? Don't score often.
Havertz, man.
Jeez. Yeah, that's not good, man. Top 4 and no trophies. Listen, you offer me that right now, I'll take it. I said with Arteta this year, you get top 4. If you miss it, you got to win the Europa League. If you don't do any of them two, then P45's got to be typed up.
Simple.
You know what I mean?
Simple, man.
as
You know
that.
what I mean? It makes the Europa League so big as well now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In terms of the Europa League, it's massive now. Absolutely massive.
The Europa League is very unpredictable now because
Yep.
you know I remember when Arsene Wenger we first went in the Europa League, we were sailing through it. I said we're going to win this, and then Atletico dropped out of the Champions League and beat us in the semi-final. I think they had Griezmann and Diego Costa up front. So big boys. I mean, Barcelona dropped out this year, so it's very unpredictable, which is why I always think you should. Top 4's got to be the main aim. Europa League to me is just a bonus if you can get it.
100%.
In terms of Ten Hag, I mean,
2-2.
Whoa. Come on, you hammers. Let's go. Who scored that?
Yes.
Come on. Yes.
Mendy apparently had a madness.
Yeah, I took him out my FPL team because they keep conceding as well. West Ham. Love that. I don't care who scored anyway, as long as they've equalised. That's beautiful.
Man,
90th minute, by the way. Cornet, apparently. Cornet, 2-2. Yeah, love that. Mendy's had a nightmare. Bournemouth beating Forest 3-2. Forest were 2-0 up. They could be going down. Yeah, man. Ten Hag, anyway. Ten Hag. After the first 2 games, everyone's going. I've seen people calling him a bold fraud, 10 fraud.
Yeah.
Calling him the Dutch Andrew Tate. All sorts was going off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to give him some credit, he's been strong. You know, he's dropped Maguire. He's dropped Ronaldo. Brought in a couple of his dons. Dropped Shaw. He looked better now. I know from what I saw, you was happy with him being appointed. Are United fans willing to give him the time? Because with Arteta, we've seen 2-3 years and we're still not there. Are you prepared to give him
100%, man,
2-3 seasons?
You know what it is, You know when you have a manager like Ollie who's been there for a while, and it's like there was this kind of feeling of, you know what, it's he was given 3 or 4 years. I'm willing to give Ten Hag 4 or 5 years. I'm going to be so patient because I think the manager, in a sense of, you know what, he needs time. It's going to be a process. I know we don't like to use that word, but I think for me, you've got to give him time. You've got to give him, a feeling of, you know what, it's not going to be an easy fix. VAR, is it VAR?
Oh, no, don't do that.
Nah, man.
Don't do that, man. 90th minute. Let us know, people. People saying it's been given.
It's been given,
Given. Has it been given, people? Let us know, because I need someone's got to drop points. Chelsea, Tottenham, anyone. Liverpool drew. Yeah, people saying it's been given.
Nah, man. People, don't do this to me, man. Score, man. But yeah, like I said, it's about giving. It's about giving. Now, goals given. Come on.
Right? We're good, yeah?
No, man. Big up to the people. Yeah, that's massive, because you got to realize, man, that's what I'm saying. No goal.
Oh, it's been disallowed.
Nah, don't lie.
Oh, it's been disallowed, man. Stinker, that is. People saying the goal should have counted as well. Chelsea, man. That chairman's probably dropped a brown envelope on VAR quick.
Yeah, man. That's massive, for Chelsea.
Ain't it? When you win a game like that, but that's throwing me off. It makes tomorrow even bigger. Just all right, let's just quickly look ahead to tomorrow. I'm gonna round up shortly anyway. The game, you're going to it. I did
Yeah,
the
yeah.
preview. I said, look, I'll be honest. If you offered me a draw now, I would take it. It's away from home. We've won 5 out of 5. Do you need to win this game more than us? Is the pressure more on you with you being the home team?
I think for me, I kind of embrace the pressure because I feel like when the pressure's on, the players have risen up this season in terms of the last 3 or 4 games. I think for me, it's equally, man. I think both teams have to go for it. Arsenal, in a sense, Arsenal is not a case of if you go there and get a draw, it's not the end of the world. But I think
Mm,
for us, it'll be a disappointment if we get a draw. I'll be honest with you. I'm
think
going
so.
there and we have to win, man. Yeah, man. I'll be honest with you. I'd be disappointed with a draw because I feel like we need to build a momentum. And we're at home. We've won 3 in a row. Okay, respect to Arsenal, but we're at home and we
Yeah,
should be able to beat, because this again is part of the top 6 battle, top 4,
yeah,
whatever you want to call it. It's a case of getting maximum points out of these games at home. You need to do it. So for me, I just feel like it's a situation where we have to win. But for you guys, I don't think it's the end of the world if you drop a point or go or get a draw. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But again, for that mentality, going there and getting a win would be huge, huge.
yeah. 100%, 100%. Oh, Tottenham just scored a third, so that's over there as well.
3-0.
Yeah, 3-1, 3-1. It was
3-1, yeah.
2-1, wasn't it? So I was hoping for a Fulham
Yeah.
equaliser, but yeah, it's one of them. Let's round off. Score prediction tomorrow. You go into the game. Should be a
Yeah,
good atmosphere.
gonna be a good
4:30.
atmosphere. I'm gonna go for 2-1, I'm gonna go for 2-1. I think for me, like I said, it'll be one of them games where it's 1-1 and then someone will get the last minute, last 20 minutes. Whoever builds that ascendancy will get that winner. So I'm gonna go with 2-1. 2-1 United.
Yeah, 2-1 United. I was saying 2-1 Arsenal, but that midfield that we've got out worries me. I gotta be honest. So I'm gonna go for a draw. I think it'll be
Okay.
1-1.
Mm.
Because I just think I can see you putting in a kind of similar to the Liverpool performance. I think you'll be
Yeah, yeah,
fired
yeah.
up. I think you'll go
Yeah.
for us, and I think we won't have as much control in midfield. So I'll go for a draw. And I got to be honest, I would take a draw
Mm.
because we got Everton next week at home. I think we'll beat them. But if we can beat you, and we're 6 from 6 with Everton next week, we will be absolutely flying. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting. I think we can get at you. I do think with our
Mm.
attack, Saka, Martinelli, Jesus, if Odegaard's in the 10, I think there'll be goals. I think there'll be goals in it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you know what? It'll be a good game, man. It'll be a feisty game, man. I'm telling you now, it'll be a feisty, feisty game. So I can't lie, man. It's gonna be an interesting one, man. But tomorrow, come 6:30, boy, it's gonna be madness on the timeline, man. So good luck, man. Good luck, bro. And you're on the
Bro,
watch along
honestly, I'm
tomorrow. It's
looking
gonna be
I'm looking forward
fire.
to the game. Tottenham goal was disallowed, by the way, so it's 2-1.
Oh, it's 2-1.
2-1. Now, listen, I'm looking forward to the game. I appreciate you coming on,
No, I
as
love, man.
always.
Appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.
Come
And
on, bro.
make sure you watch his content after. Listen, if we win, I'll be all over your comments.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
we
yeah,
lose,
yeah.
if we lose, I'll obviously be quiet and just watch Big Six quietly.
It's peak for Turkish
No,
United,
but big up
man.
for
I'm
coming
telling
on. Make sure people subscribe to him. Links in the title. And obviously, Big Six. Someone's going to be getting cooked on Monday anyway.
you. Yeah, 100%,
Hopefully,
man.
hopefully not Turkish. AFC protagonist said Richarlison takes his shirt off, but Arsenal over celebrate just to be offside. I didn't even see it. People saying he took his shirt off, ran around, and then it was disallowed. It's all mad.
Yeah,
People.
yeah, madness,
It's all bad.
madness.
No, but big up to you for coming on, bro.
No,
Appreciate
I
it.
love, man. Appreciate it, man. Big up to the chat as well. And yeah, man, may the best team win, man.
100%. People, don't forget, I'll be back tomorrow, 3:30 for the watch along. And yeah, may the best team win. I'll see you